movie tells a story about Wolverine, who crosses paths with the loudmouth Deadpool when he is recovering from his injuries. They team up to defeat a common enemy. First of all, this movie is disappointing. This movie embraces its corniness even more aggressively than the previous Deadpool movies, practically aiming for tearjerker territory in its story of feuding characters who, deep down, are just trying to prove that they matter. The good dynamic between characters from its predecessors are gone, while the jokes are more malicious and acerbic than before. The threadbare plot is built around this excess. It's a parade of singular gags and throwbacks for fans, each vignette bringing to mind one of Ryan Reynolds' cell phone ads instead of a coherent film. The film tries to wink its way out of its nonsense plot. It has a string of witless quips and drab fan service, while there isn't a single shot in this movie that flows excitingly into the next one. The pairing between the two main characters ultimately underwhelms, as this movie is stuffed with one-liners, cameos from Marvel characters past and present, and the increasingly convoluted explanations regarding how the multiverse operates. Many different versions of both main characters populate the many timelines of this movie. The multiverse setting sometimes feels like it's all just a mechanism for an orgy of guest appearances and snarky parodies. This movie falters as it tries to juggle its competing ambitions. It wants to be an MCU spectacle featuring epic fights. But it also aspires to be a rollicking takedown of comic book cinema as well as a sincere examination of flawed heroes seeking redemption. There are some moving sequences, but they barely have room to breathe. Why even pretend to emotionally invest into this when the movie doesn't give any reasons to do so? When it does focus on the convoluted plot, it almost feels like an obligation. It feels lazy and lacks necessary structure. Graphic violence from Deadpool movies are still evident in this one, however, neither of them can die, so the violence is basically meaningless. It's barely functional even if you're into the kind of violence it's selling. Eventually, the movie in general comes off as inconsequential. Overall, it's not worth to watch in theater. Just wait on your streaming service.